Started recording anyway. Before I get started, you all can see my screen, right?
Yes.
I can see it.
You can, right?
I cannot see it.
You cannot. You should be able to see it now.
I can. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. It may take.
Yeah, this is Patrick. I cannot see it.
Cannot see it. You have.
You can see it.
It's because you have your screen turned on. You have to turn off your own screen so you can see.
Yeah,
it.
change it to maybe you are on your own screen. Go to the go to meeting. You should be able to see it.
Okay, let me see.
There would be, you are not on the right screen. Maybe.
Let me see here.
Check your which screen you are on. You just have to switch between different screens or different sessions you have probably. Sometimes if you are on a different your own Windows, you think you are on if you might be using.
Yeah, I think he has different windows open.
Yeah, different windows open. Change your windows to the.
Yeah, I can see your screen now.
Okay, great. Okay, all right, we'll get started. Thanks everyone for joining. My name is Ratikant. I go by the name RP, and we have Bijay on the call as well. So Bijay Ramachandran, he's there on the call. So he will, come to the presentation mode in few minutes. So I'll just to tell you, we didn't get a time. Actually, I didn't get time to kind of together all of them, our different programs in single, in single, PPT. But anyway, so I'll probably have to do some kind of whiteboarding here as well. So if there is any question, I will go over, over here. So anyway, so what I'm trying to say, we have a couple of programs. Before I get to the details, let me welcome every one of you. And as I said, my name is Ratikant. I have Bijay on the call as well. Many of you have talked personally. Okay, hey Bijay. I have talked most of you personally. Dinesh, you have joined, right? Dinesh? Dinesh, you have joined, right? Okay. So most of you I have talked personally, or many of you even I know personally.
Yeah, Ratikant, I joined. This is Dinesh. Sorry, I wasn't here.
Sure, no problem. So what we'll do in the next 1 hour, I don't want to take a lot of time in this evening. What I'll do, I'll just go over the course curriculum and what's the start date, what are the timings and those kind of stuff, and we'll present 2 different courses today, and we can discuss the rest of the week, which week we want to go. Okay, there are a lot of synergy between the 2 courses. I'll go over it in a minute. And I know most of you I talked on the big data specific, but then we have another course, in tandem with big data we are also presenting. I wanted to have, you look at both. Please be mute on your side just to avoid any disturbance. If you could just mute yourself. I don't want myself. If I mute, it will come back again. So mute yourself from your side. Jackson, Kenneth, and Timmy, please mute it yourself on your side. That way, it will be disturbance. Timmy, okay, I made it. I muted you. Okay, all right. So if I present it here, I just wanted to just do it just few minutes back. Okay. Hey Timmy, could you mute yourself? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Patrick, maybe is it Patrick? Maybe Patrick, you should. Okay, you are on. Okay, so 2 different programs. Okay, one is big data engineer, or you can call it different names. Data engineer, you can say Hadoop or Spark engineer. Other one is cloud platform engineering. Okay, these are 2 different courses we'll be running in parallel. You cannot do both at the same time, but that's something you may want to look at down the road. Why we brought these 2 courses together? I know one of our one of our students in our in this call right now, Debo, he is a cloud platform engineer as well. We have Vijay, who is also an expert on the cloud platform engineering side as well, right? Myself, I am more on the big data, Spark, Python, all that stuff, right? Why did we bring these two courses together? We'll talk a little bit on that. And how does our course, come together to bring this competency to you? Okay, that's the main. I'll just talk about a little bit to start with. Then we'll go to the big data part of it, and then we'll go to the cloud part of it. Okay, these two course curriculums will present. If you look at the current industry trend, right, cloud is one of the most dominant platform around, right? Every company you go, either they are planning to be on AWS, Azure, or they are already there, right? Whether it is whether it's pure data warehouse applications, real time analytics, anything, right? You talk about that's the future of every company, right? Any company, today or 5 years from now will be, in some way will be on cloud, right? That's given, right? That's given. There is no second thought about it. Now, cloud being your future platform, right? What other things you need to know? Of course, you need to have the cloud specific knowledge, right? The platform engineering, that's what it comes together, comes here. Vijay will talk about in details what are the different components, what all things goes on there. Apart from that, what do we do over there, right? Apart from the platform itself, there will be data, right? So there will be data specific applications, and that's where we are talking about big data engineering program or data engineer program. You can talk about Spark, Spark data engineer, big data engineer, doesn't matter. Hey, I still hear some background noise. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Everybody's mute. I don't know, not sure where it's coming from, but anyway. So we are trying to bring these two courses together, and that will make anyone complete. Okay, down the road, this will make you complete in terms of your preparation for the next age technologies, right? You may be working on, and if you are already in IT, maybe you are working on SQL, maybe you are working on Java, maybe Python, maybe any application, or even maybe just pure system administration, right? But if you look at the future, these are the two things coming together, right? You can start with any one of these right now, but eventually I would tell you, if you want to really master the future of these technologies, you need to go for both at some point, if not today, right? Like at some point, and that's why we are kind of trying to bring synergy between those two courses. Okay, and that's what we are presenting today. And why Python? We just, as part of this course curriculum, we will be also teaching you Python language competency, because we see Python is common between those two. Of course, there are other languages like Java, Scala, and others, right? SQL, it's kind of given anyway, but we want you to be expert or be competent at least one language. So Python will be common for both courses. Okay, it will be common for both courses. In fact, we are planning to have combined sessions for Python for both the courses, so that you get good at Python, and you can, either course you can pick up, to get started. And of course, they will run in parallel. You cannot do both. You can, start with one, but what I'm suggesting, down the road, try to learn both. That will help you. Next 10 years, pretty much you can master this area. Okay, Debo is there on the call. He can talk about what he feels, what is in the industry, right? But anyway, so with that, let me quickly get to the big data side of it. Then I'll just spend maybe 20-25 minutes. Then I will ask Vijay, who will go the platform engineering side. Okay, I didn't get time to combine this together, but that's okay. I will go over quickly individual programs separately. But again, it's up to you. We'll talk about which platform or which course you want to pick up to start with. I know most of you who talked with me, we talked about on the big data, right? But again, as I said, platform engineering is also open to you. Okay, we want you to know the other side of it. Okay, so that's the main goal. So quick my introduction, then we'll get to some of those curriculum details. I don't want to go very detail into the course what you call technology details, but I will talk about the what's the course curriculum, what's the start date and timing, those kind of stuff. Many of you know me, go by the name RP or Radikant. So either way, I don't know, I don't have, I'm not keeping track of years, how many years I'm in the industry anyway. Old guy. So then currently this is not up to date. I'm currently working with CBS as a executive advisor there, which is like enterprise architect. And I'm managing some of those data science project, which is on Hortonworks, and some of them are also on cloud platform. Primarily, mostly data analytics and data science project, which are actually executed on Hadoop and Spark, all Python-based programming. So that's what I've been working last 1.5 years. Before that, I was working with Infosys, what you see here, and I have been, working with several clients. Like when you are a consultant, you will be working several clients, right? Financial, retail, energy, telecom. So many different clients primarily worked on big data field. In fact, in 2012-13, that's when it was new. That's when I kind of got into big data. When I was with Infosys, started training a lot of folks within Infosys. Then I started training myself in Dallas area in 2015. Yeah, around 2015. So last 3 years, I think probably close to maybe 300 folks I have trained so far. I think different, of course, 3-4 years it has been. I typically do 3 to 5 batches a year, and so I don't know. I have not counted the number of students, but definitely quite a few students in the last 2 years have been very successful. In fact, I see, a lot of our folks from African countries. 50-60% of my students are from African countries like Cameroon, Nigeria, and all that, because it all started with a couple of folks in 2016, I believe, and I helped them get job. And then just by word of mouth, I think, a lot of folks, from those countries, they have been I've been very good friend with a lot of my students, and fortunately, I think 15, 20, at least 15 folks from Cameroon, they have been successful in getting jobs, and there are some from Nigeria as well. So very successful, and people have been really successful, and that's what I'm happy about it. So what I'm just telling, that we have pretty much perfected how what things are required in the industry, how to how to get to the job market, what are the things asked in the interview. So we have a very clear cut plan to succeed in this field. Okay, I'll not go much detail into that. Let me talk about the course curriculum itself. Some of the things are not perfectly shaped here. Apologize for that, but I will talk about what I'm going to teach. Okay. First, what we plan to do is develop your Python competency. So we are trying to be this time with Vijay, who is with me. We are trying to really create a very good curriculum. Okay, it has been successful in the past, but this time we are even getting more serious and want to really get result from with the students. Okay, that's our goal. Because at the end, if students get successful, we will be successful. That's our goal. So so what I've seen in the past, based on my experience, where people lack, or where what makes people succeed and what people makes not succeed, right? So based on my experience in the last 3 years, I'm trying to change a little bit this time, be more hands-on, and do a lot of programming, lot of practice in the class. So that's it. Starts with Python. We'll build good competency in Python in all of you, so that you get good at Python itself. Okay. And as you know, Python is a very, very promising language, whether you are doing data engineering, cloud, data science, any field, right? Python is becoming very popular in the industry. There are other languages, Scala, Python, Java. I know people are scared about Java. We are not touching Java here, but we'll focus on Python. Python being more universal presence in many different platforms. We'll focus on that, and it's a very easy language to learn. And we'll prepare or we'll make you learn it such a way that it will be easier for you as well. Okay, that's the goal. So that's so we'll develop your Python language expertise or competency. Then we'll start with your Hadoop journey, right? This is the big data stream, by the way, good guys. Okay, so there is a Hadoop essential. These are just divided into different parts just to make you guys learn it easily or to understand it easily. Hadoop essential, right? It's primarily basic Hadoop, right? Things like Hadoop, SDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. Okay, can you request the people on the phone to mute? Yes, please be mute if you are on phone or on computer audio. Some people are not able to hear me properly, so please do that. So we will develop. Still, there is some noise. I don't know where it is coming from. Okay. So at least please be mute. Okay, Patrick, I don't know. It shows you. Can you be? I know you are on video. You don't need to be video actually, Patrick. But you can just be on audio. Because it shows your thing is green. I'm thinking it's coming from you. Yeah, I think it's now I probably muted you. Okay, or you muted yourself on your side, Patrick. Okay, so we'll develop your Python language competency. After that, we'll jump into Hadoop. Hadoop has several components. I will not go details into that. There is a picture right here which I can explain you pretty quickly. Okay, SDFS, MapReduce, Pig, Hive, Scoop, all those things you see here. We are not going to go detail into every component here because some of them are not relevant currently. Although you see this platform as Hadoop platform, not all of them are required for you. Okay, because we'll get to the actual stuff what industry needs. There is no point spending time or wasting time on a lot of this stuff. What we'll be covering in the first couple of weeks will make you understand the foundational platform, which is SDFS, right? Some of the basic concept of what you call MapReduce and all that. We'll not go deep, okay? At least on these areas. Then we'll quickly move to the real stuff that is called Apache Spark, as you see here. Okay, this is the Apache Spark. This is where the primary focus for the industry right now. If you go to any company right now, whether they are doing data engineering, whether they are doing any data science, it's all based on Spark. So this is where we're focusing most of the time. In fact, this batch I'll be reducing the Hadoop side because I want to quickly go over that and focus more time on here with Python and lot of in-class examples. Okay, this is where I'm going to focus a lot with the students so that they will get good at the actual programming and real life experience, right? Things like how to do data ingestion, how to do data transformation, right? How to move around data, for different use cases, right? So this is where we'll focus in combination with Python, okay? Because this is where the actual industry need is. There is no point spending time or wasting time in other areas based on again my experience in the last 3 years. Okay, this is where probably I'm going to take 5 weeks or at least 4 weeks, and within 2 weeks we'll get this thing done because this is just basic stuff. We are not going to cover Pig, Mahout, or Hive is one of the area we'll be covering more because this is the database on Hadoop. Okay, so database stuff, which is Hive, and the programming, so processing stuff, this is all Spark. Hive plus Spark plus Python. Okay, Hive, Spark, and Python. And if I just write it down here, we'll learn Python, then we'll learn Hive, which is the database, and then we'll learn Spark in detail. Okay, these 3 things. Rest of the stuff will that's your foundation, just the understanding, basic understanding. This is where the focus will be. Okay, and we'll spend more and more hands-on labs, use cases, all that stuff as much as we can. I'm going to prepare in the meantime. I have some, but I'm going to prepare in the next because by the time we come to Spark will be another 2 weeks. I'll prepare several examples which will make you good in this area. Okay, that's my goal. So don't want to get lot into this detail. Then the second program will have cloud platform engineering. So far, any questions? We'll get to the curriculum, what do you call the timings and the what do you call the start date in a minute once we complete cloud platform engineering. Okay. As I said, on the Hadoop side, Hive, Python, Hive, Spark. This will be our focus area. Okay, but there are several other stuff you'll learn alongside just to enrich your platform knowledge. Okay, it's a Hadoop platform knowledge. But our industry specific or the job specific, this is where your focus will be. Okay. That being said, let me quickly switch to Vijay. So Vijay, then we'll come back to the timings and all that. So Vijay, do you have? Do I have it here? Unless you want to, present from here, or you want to present your stuff, I can give you access. Either way.
Yeah, it is same that there are some modifications. Yeah, we can.
The same one. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to use the same one? Okay, I can. All right. Yeah, you want to get started again. You don't have to really go into. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, another 20 minutes, 25 minutes you can spend.
Or I will share to my screen. So
okay. Why don't you share? Okay. Let me give you access and let me make you presenter. All right. So then you should be the presenter now, and you have to share it.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen. Yeah.
Can we just go to the just cream up stuff? I know what you have put down. That looks good. What's the industry demand? What you have seen? Where you have? I know you have been working in this area for some time. So Vijay is the expert in the cloud area, although he has come from traditional database background, big data background, but his focus currently is in cloud side. So he'll talk about that. This is the second stream I'm talking about. The cloud platform engineering, the second course that will run in parallel. 2 courses will run in parallel. You cannot join both at this time, but you can start with one. But we're giving you the long-term view, what you want to be at the end. So that will kind of help you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rajikant. Good evening, everyone. For next 15-20 minutes, I will talk about these 5 key areas. What is cloud? What is the market potential and the demand? And even overview about the program, what to expect from this program, and what we deliver. Okay. So the main objective of this program to transform experienced IT professionals and graduate engineers to cloud platform engineers and architects based on their history. So this is not for just academic purpose, right? This is to prepare the foundation in the cloud technology. Because if you take AWS, as of now, there are close to 100 different kinds of AWS services being used. And all the customers will not all use all these services, different use cases. But to set up any data lake, big data, or elastic cloud, or data science environment, even SAP things like ERP applications on cloud, there are some foundation services out there. So we will take a deep dive into those foundation services in the cloud space with real-time scenarios and lab exercise. So that out of this program, each candidate will be confident to be hands-on in the cloud space, as well as they'll get to know the real-time situation, what is the best practice to be used, and hands-on and confident about the technology, both from the conceptual level as well as the cloud specific level. Okay, that's the objective of this program. So introduce myself. My name is Vijay Ramachandran. You can call me Vijay. So I have more than 22 years experience in the IT industry in various parts of the world. India, of course, the UK, Central Europe, and the US. Have been working in the data warehousing, BI, big data, and cloud technologies, specialist in the area. I am working as a senior solution architect in the cloud center of excellence for a leading MNC, and I specialize in AWS web services, that's AWS, Amazon web services, specialized in big data, data lake, and elastic cloud implementations. Okay. So apart from delivering the projects for various customers, I also work as a advisory consultant for other account roles. Then I set up the strategy for in my organization. As part of that, I have to mentor and train other people to build our team. Okay, it is difficult to get people from outside, as per my experience. As part of building my team, I am taking interview almost on a daily basis for all levels, like cloud engineers, cloud leads, cloud architects. So we have a requirement for all kinds of people because our revenue target has increased by 10 times when compared to last year. So we need people. I'm not getting. So I'm training internally a lot of engineers as per our requirements. Okay. So that is a very clear. It is evident that there is a huge opportunities and demand for cloud engineers and architects, augmented with big data knowledge. That is also very critical for almost all big data implementation because most of the customers are moving to cloud space, as you guys know already. And I have very good industry experience also. Okay, so this is the statistics about the market potential in the cloud space. You see, in last 4 years, it's almost doubled from 145 billion. It is projected to be 278. It's almost doubled. Do we have so much people in the market? The answer is no, because as I said, I have been taking interview on a daily basis. If I take 50 people interview, there will be only 3-4 good candidates. There is no exaggeration. We are struggling in my company to get people. There's a huge demand, but people with the right skills and right experience is very difficult to get. That is one of the reasons I have partnered with Radhikant, who is also an expert in this area. That's the primary reason for training other outside my company also. So what is the average salary after the FOP? The median salary is again on a higher side, 140K plus for a cloud computing professionals in 2018. These are last year's statistics. At that point in time, more than 50,000 jobs are there in the market. I'm 100% sure even 30% is not filled. And a lot of small players are coming to the market. They join a company, they learn it on the job, they fail it, again they learn, then they come out with good experience. We are not getting right people with the right skills. Whoever we are recruiting, they are learning from us. So that is a fact of the matter. As you see, second point, the average job post stays for close to 45 days, 46 days. That clearly indicates that there is a huge gap between the supply and demand in the cloud space. Okay. So just to give an overview about the cloud computing is a model. There are various dimensions to that. The first critical thing is the high-end servers applications are sitting somewhere else, managed by cloud vendors like Amazon, Azure, or Google. Nothing is non-prem. If you look at the evolution, all the companies were having their big, huge servers, database in their own office space. Gradually, they moved to data centers. Now, from that is completely moved to cloud. That is one dimension. Second dimension, your servers processing and storage all are decoupled. So even if one goes down, you will not lose your data. There's a lot of strong data recovery and backup mechanisms. And with a couple of clicks and couple of minutes of effort, you can bring up a high-end server. Whereas in on-prem, it is 45 days to procure a basic Linux box. So rapid provisioning with minimal management, decoupled, cost-effective, on-demand network. That is cloud computing model. During the class, we'll go in detail about each and every section. In a layman term, how it is different? It's as good as buying your own car or going with a rental car based on your varied needs. And pay as you go. Pay only for whatever you need. If you need a server only for, let's say, 1 month, just can go for a 1 month server. You need to pay only for that. Can I go for some cost optimization techniques? Yes, there is an option for that. If you want to go for a GPU machine for 1 day? Yes, it's possible. So all plug in, plug out of any kind of servers, any kind of application is possible in the cloud. Is it only servers? No. You have databases. You have big data solutions. You have data science components. So all these are collectively called as cloud computing. Okay. So the three different models: software as a service, like the Google Docs you're using online, Gmail, your mailing service, it's a classic example of software as a service. So there are a lot of other softwares you pay as you go. Even Cloudera has a pay as you go SaaS solution. Then you have platform as a service. You have entire infrastructure available with high-end servers and all. You can install your own application, set up the platform, everything, including Cloudera clusters, big data clusters. You can do that. You can define your own data orchestrations, data ingestion in platform as services. Then come infrastructure services. These platform as a service and infrastructure as a service go hand in hand. So we will cover these two things: platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. Okay. So as I said, the key objectives of this program will be to make you succeed as a cloud engineer or architect with focus on the industry needs rather than just as some academic knowledge. Okay. Can confidently attend the interview and clear the interview. Once you're, we'll definitely help you to get a placement. As I said, there's a lot of demand, and we'll give support on projects as and when needed. And during part of the course itself, we help you to get AWS certified. We'll give right guidance, the sample questions, how to approach the exam, all this kind of guidance. So these are the predominant, most widely used AWS services from a platform side covered in this course. Couple of things I would like to emphasize, like automation, platform automation. You can see it. So, for example, if you want to spin up 100 servers, or if you want to install a database, Oracle database, or if you want to provision some Aurora database in cloud, how would you do that? What kind of DevOps operations like Git repository? How do you maintain the code? How do you deploy the code? How do you integrate with various services? Then, if you come to cloud database system, there will be sessions on predominant cloud databases such as Redshift and Snowflake. So these are very, very new in the market, especially Snowflake. There's a huge demand on Snowflake also. So collectively, these are the requirements the industry needs. If I get a resume for the interview, I'll check for all these options and I'll ask questions on all these areas. If a candidate can even answer 50% of these topics, I will take him or her. So that is kind of a need there in the industry now. Of course, more and more people are coming, but there's a huge demand. It's always early bird gets a fish, right? So whoever comes early in the game will be benefited. Any questions to me?
Again, guys, don't be worried about the different terminologies used here, and it is just to provide you an overview of what the cloud demand is, what are the different parts and parcels of the curriculum, but you don't need to get bogged down with the terms that Vijay is using. By the end of the course, you will all know about it. So, and as Vijay said, he's well versed with training and taking interviews almost a daily basis. So he knows what the industry wants. So our goal is to prepare you both areas, the big data side and on the cloud side, whichever line you go, whichever stream you want to go, or you want to take both at some point, right? Now, first this, then this, right? If you ask me, that's what even I want to be. If I am in the IT industry and for example, I am not that great on the platform engineering side. I'm planning to be in one of Vijay's course. In fact, next time, that's my goal. Because I see, yes, I'm great at big data side, but I am weak on the platform engineering side, and everyone is going on the cloud way. I'm not knowing it is a big weakness for me as well. So that's my thought process. So start with any course, and you feel comfortable, we can discuss that after this call tomorrow and rest of the week. But we just want to present both the courses, and as you see, both are they are pretty industry, huge demand in the current market, and based on your current skill sets and all that, I can advise you which way to go. Okay. In terms of system requirement on the big data side, I'm switching to the big data side again now. In terms of system requirement, what we give it to you, because for the big data engineering, right, data engineering course, you need the Hadoop environment. So we give you a virtual machine which is preloaded with quite a few components that you need for doing your lab lab in the classroom, as well as doing assignments and all that. So you need a good laptop for your course, both the courses. Vijay, for the cloud side, do they need any installation, or primarily will I think we'll do it on the AWS, right?
Yeah, there is no requirement as such, hardware requirement. If you need a laptop, you can connect.
Okay. So
I have a Ratikant, this is Manoj. I have a quick question, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, to Ratikant or Vijay. So this cloud computing course, it is the big data centric, or it's the general? It's a generic training, or it's a big data centric?
It is not purely Vijay, you can answer that question. He will be covering. Vijay, why don't you answer that question? How should we?
Yeah. So yes, big data is one of the key components in the overall cloud space. Okay. So so if as Radhika mentioned, there are two streams: cloud data engineers and cloud platform engineers. Okay. So so we are using, even if what you say Cloudera or Hortonworks, where it now, or EMR, which is Hadoop cluster, right? So if you are going to work as a cloud data engineer, you need to have exposure to the cloud space. Okay, how to access, how to write code, everything you need. So you need some basic exposure of the cloud space. Okay, whereas cloud platform engineer is to set up your complete data lake on cloud, which is, so EMR is, or Big Data is one of the components that you will install. So these are two different programs. Eventually they go hand in hand. So the cloud platform engineer is primarily focused on setting up the your applications on cloud, including big data.
Okay.
So yeah, as I'm sorry, I was not sharing earlier, but yeah, I'm not sure whether Manoj it was clear. So primarily, again, Vijay is the expert on this. I don't want to talk over him, but what he was talking about, right? So these are different components, right? That's what he was saying, right? Over here, you see EMR is there somewhere here, right? So EMR is one of the component, right? Which is nothing but Elastic MapReduce, which is the whole Hadoop platform. If you are on on AWS, that's the Hadoop. If you are on the Azure, they have something called SD Insight, which is nothing but Hortonworks. If you ask me which areas most of the Well, cloud has a lot of components, but which area most of the work is happening, right? Primarily it is in here, and these areas, Redshift, Snowflake, AWS, right? These are the primary databases, right? And apart from that, since you are on the cloud, there will be integration with different platforms. Like how do you schedule it? How do you set up alerts? So that means you need to know the platform, along with the data side up. For example, actually, I'm not expert on the platform on the AWS side, to tell you truth. I did a lot of training earlier, but I need to be up to date. That's why I'm bringing in Bijay, and in fact, I'm going to learn, to tell you truth. So I'm expert on the data side, so I can bring in data, write Python program, PySpark program. But where I'm lacking is that's okay. But how do I do that on the cloud? Because it has its own definitions, own components. When you combine those both, it becomes very powerful, because cloud is the platform going to stay, right? It's the future, no matter what, whether it's Azure or it's AWS. And now, while you are on the cloud and you have the knowledge of the data itself, because that's the actual work going on, then it becomes more powerful. So they have a huge synergy with each other, right? So that's what we're trying to do. You can start with anyone and eventually be expert on both sides. That's where the value comes. It's 150 versus 250K salary. That's where it changes quickly. When you have both, you just master the full platform. But anyway, I don't want to get to the numbers, but that's what eventually that should be the goal. If you are focusing on being on any of the IT platform in the next 10-15 years, anything specific to cloud, and if it has a big data component, definitely those two are the great areas.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked this question, Ratikant, I'm not in the big data area yet, but I'm interested to know about cloud platform basically. So that's why I'm trying to understand whether I will be a good fit here.
This will be a great area if you want to know the cloud platform. This will be the great area, to understand the different components, how to integrate, how to configure different, where the configure different. Again, Vijay can talk more on that. And once you have that knowledge, then want to suppose you become a platform engineering architect. Now you go there, and the client is implementing a big data project, and you don't know that. Then the big data knowledge will be a good addition there. So Debo, I think he's on the call. He himself, Debo Debo, you are on the call. Debo, you can hear me? Yeah, Debo, I think he's on mute. But anyway, so Debo, he's on the call. He's a platform engineer working for Amazon itself. And the reason he comes here, he said, "Hey, I'm great. I'm serving a lot of clients, doing great job. But where I feel the weakness is how do I implement this big data project? I know how do I implement the Kafka project? How do I implement any Spark project? So the knowledge of Python, PySpark, the data engineering." He says, if I add that, my value increases tenfold immediately. So there is a lot of synergy. So any what you call space you can get started. But what I suggest, you can survive with one. I mean, you can just be good at one area and still do good. Down the road, what is wrong in picking up another one? Go do good on both sides. So yeah. Manoj, you can get started on any areas. If you are not doing anything on big data, and you want to get started with the cloud, this is a great program. And
okay.
Yeah,
sure, man. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. So on the big data side, I didn't cover a lot. I didn't want to cover a lot, other than I wanted to be very specific. As I showed you the different pictures here. What is big data history? I don't want to go over that. You all probably have some idea what is big data, because we are already in this session. But our focus is to get you understand the basic foundational platforms, foundational frameworks pretty quickly, within a couple of weeks maybe. What is SDFS? What is MapReduce? What are the different components here? Very quickly. But we get quickly to the gist of the program, which is Python and Spark, because that's where the core development is happening. Okay, get good at one language, and we'll make you good in Python. And what do we do with Python? So You have Hive database. That's the, that will be the primary data storage, and the I'm sorry, and the processing part. 90% of the industry processing is currently happening in Spark. Spark has become kind of the default or de facto processing engine for data engineering, for data science, you name it. So once you master this, what you call, Spark based processing coding, that's what we will focus most of our time. With good language like Python, this area will be pretty much in the grasp, in addition to the database, which is Hive. Hive is very easy to learn. So Hive plus Spark plus what I say here, Python, right? This is the language, this is the database, this is the processing, right? When you combine all three, you kind of master your big data. Okay, and this is the area which is the other side, cloud platform engineering. That's where Vijay will talk about all the different components, how it stitches together in the cloud platform like AWS. And when you combine both of these courses, of course, it is even more powerful down the road. So that's why we kind of wanted to provide both the courses, together, so that people have option which way to go, and eventually maybe they can combine both to be master of both. So that way you have an option. We're just giving two options, and we can discuss with you individually and see which way you want to start. And each one of them can get you a job. Each one of them. So both are in demand. Okay. Pretty good paying. I know there are a lot of my students who have been working in the last people, those who started just from the big data side. The people, the students, some of my students were, just to give you some numbers, right? Students who started last year, start of 2018, some of the folks had no idea what is, even some people came from chemical engineering, some people had some basic SQL, no IT knowledge. So those are people are probably currently making 120, 130K. Those who had never thought of making even 100K salary. After 6 months, 1 year, they're making 120, 130K. That's not bad. In Dallas area, or many of them. And it's just the beginning. Once you improve, or once you enhance your skill set, you can just go above and above, right? So, and on top of that, if you can add your platform engineering skill set, which we are offering now, that will be powerful. Just to give you a number, because you may be thinking, hey, how much salary I will get, what kind of, right? What we have seen in the big data side, I would say, to start with, I won't say 100, but some people can hourly rate starting from 60 to 90. I'm talking about the hourly rate. If you go full time, I've seen people from 90 to 130. For 6 months, you can go whatever salary you get. Once you are there 6 months, you master the skills, or and get to know the environment. I've seen many of my students, after 6 months, they're jumping to different companies and claiming 20K, 25K, or 15 to 25K higher salary. I've seen that with many folks. So that's the trend. So it's possible. So just to give you a number, because that question you will have. Any other questions? We are 10 minutes away. In terms of class start date, let me just quickly go over. We're planning to start the big data, the first one, which is cloud data engineer, or you can big data, whatever the name you have, you can say next week. The current, what is today? Well, this week itself, yeah, 8th, this Saturday. Okay, this Saturday we are starting this the big data course. The way we have structured these two courses, since we have one classroom, we are trying to map it such a way though, so that we can have both the courses going. Saturday 9 to 1 for the big data course, and one day during the weekdays. This will be online, this part, but this part will be, at least for the big data course, okay? This will be face-to-face, those who are in Dallas. Okay, those who are in Dallas, this part 4 hours will be face-to-face Saturday. And either Wednesday, Thursday, any of these weekdays will do another 2 hours. 6 to 8 weekends. Okay, again, time is not a constant. I've even done 9 weeks for some folks until we finish it. Okay, that's our goal. but we'll package it such a way you get to learn the things that is needed for the industry. There are so many components. You cannot learn everything. Learn the things that you need to get to the job. The rest you can, build over the time, which like many of my students, they have done in the last 1 year. Cloud platform, the second course, what Vijay will be teaching, I'm thinking of starting week after, instead of starting both same time, week after, which is next week. And that will be Saturday and Sunday. Since one of the classes will be in the morning, so one day it will be the afternoon, other day it will be in the morning. So 4 for 8 hours, and that will go for 6 weekends. Okay, that's the current plan. And Vijay can discuss with you, change the timing and all that, 3, 4 or whatever, right? This is the kind of way. Don't be doesn't have to be exact, but this is what we have thought about in kind of spreading the time for between the two courses. There will be combined course for both the people from both the courses, where we'll be doing Python training. Around at least 2-3 days. I'm thinking to make it really strong for you guys, because that will be foundation for both. Cloud platform engineering also needs Python. Some level of shell scripting will cover that as well, and this big data engineering anyway, it needs Python. So we'll cover Python for both the batches, in a single setting. Okay. Again, timings we can talk about it. Days we can talk about, but weekends definitely, and weekdays we can change depending on if people have preference for any other day. Okay. So we are getting started this weekend at least with the big data. Next weekend we are getting started with the cloud engineering, cloud platform engineering. Those who are interested in both, let me know. They cannot do both anyway, but once you finish one course, you can join the other one. If that's your career plan you want to build. We are committed this time, because Vijay is with me. We are committed to really build good skill sets within you guys, because once you succeed, that will also make us happy, as well as make our company grow as well. So we'll support interview preparation, mock-ups and all that. We'll talk more in detail how what kind of support system we'll have. But I have helped many folks in the last 3 years in the resume preparation, in mock-up interviews, how to talk through the project, how to answer the questions, and they have been pretty successful. So we know the game end to end. So we'll not leave you in the middle. So right after the course. So any other questions? Any of those two courses, and timings or schedule? Details about enrollment and all that, please do talk to me today throughout the week, and we can discuss in detail. If you have any questions on the cloud platform engineering, we can talk to Vijay as well. Any questions? Again, don't worry about what I didn't understand, what Vijay talked about, this term, that term. Don't worry about it. One is your cloud platform specific training, where you will learn different components, how to integrate all of them. Second one is the big data course, which is the primarily data related, right? What do you do about that? Where do you bring in the data? How do you bring in the data ingestion, data processing, right? All that stuff. So there are two separate courses.
Manoj again. Sorry, Ritikant.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just one more quick question. So I, last time I attended your big data training.
I remember. Yeah.
Okay, so I was pretty much impressed with that, because it was the hands-on training, Ratikant, right?
Yeah.
So the same kind of experience we will have in cloud platform training,
the same kind of experience. There it will be. See, the way we are focusing is because we are all coming from industry. We are not some professor in the college and all. We know what the people will need to be successful in the job, right? So that's will be focused. Even we are changing quite a bit, even from my earlier batch. Even I'm trying to make some changes this time, seeing some of the weaknesses in the people, why some of them couldn't clinch, or why they are facing some difficulty in the job, and making some changes, make it more lab specific.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll cut back a lot of these unnecessary things, get to the point. That's why I said Hive, Spark, and Python. More we do exercises, more we do lab, more assignments. This is where you will succeed. Rest of the stuff nobody cares. As long as you know a little bit, that should be fine. So same approach we'll do on the cloud as well.
Yes, correct. We will focus on more of labs and real time. How it is used. What is, if you go for interview, if you're on job, what kind of task you will do? You do the same thing in the lab. As I said, it's not purely academical. It's purely what is needed for the industry. As I said, I take interviews for my company almost on a daily basis. So first, I look at the resume. These are things I have. Okay, very good. Then, what are the contents I have stored? Even if a person knows 40 to 50% of that, I take up, because at least I can train him on the job. So in our training program, it will be purely focused on what is needed for the industry, hands-on labs, so that you can reuse even your job, same script.
Yeah. By the way, Bijay is actively interviewing. He has a lot of clients where he also need people. So many of the students probably he will be interviewing. Down the road, he'll try to place them within different clients as well, because he is the kind of the main cloud guy with Infosys right now. Any interview, most of the folks they're taking through Infosys right now, he's the guy who is interviewing. Not just the client he's working on, but the other clients as well. Anyway,
I have a question.
Yeah.
As far as when it comes to interview and job hunting, do you guys help with that also, or how is that like resume building and interview? How does that work?
Yes, I have done that with all of my students who have got job in big data side. I will probably 30 folks probably in the not everyone comes here to get the job. Some people just come to enhance their knowledge. But people those have seriously looked for job. Let me tell you, everybody has got job. There are students. I have several examples. One person who was a McDonald's salesman. He is currently working. He had no idea about IT. Now he's working for Bank of America. 2 years, almost 2 years there. People who came from chemical engineering background, they have been working, right? The college student, I remember one from Denton. He came. He was just 1 year, had worked somewhere. Now he's working. I believe Walmart in somewhere in Arkansas. I think was planning to change to Dallas. So variety of students. What is common? We have helped them with the resume preparation and our mock-up sessions. They worked out pretty good. And people, those who seek help from us, many people, the folks who have been successful, they call me, hey RP, I have this interview tomorrow, I have this questions. Those who talk to me more, they get successful. They become successful. That's what I've seen. People those who shy away, I will try myself and that. I can't run after people to give help. People have to come to me. People those have come to me for help, I have helped them. And there are many examples. I can give you many names, Dinesh is here in the call, and there are many other folks which are not in the call, but so we do that. So that's our goal. So, and we know exactly what to do, exactly where to help, how to prepare the resume, how to talk in the resume. We are coming from industry, so that's one good thing you should know about. So, not to boast it, but to tell you, kind of we've been in this industry for some time. So, hope that answers your question. So we have specific mock-up sessions right after the class. Once the class gets over, just to point out, we have on the Bigdata side, apart from the course, we have lab exercises, assignments. We have a in-classroom project. You will do a real-life project. And once it is all done, we'll go through a mock-up session, around 4 hours mock-up session, which is what type of questions come. So basically, complete refresh of the whole course from the interview standpoint. Beyond that, if you need more help and all that, we'll talk about that. If you have a support system which probably need additional help from us, we have a support system. We can talk in more detail after that. You can talk about in a separate discussion one-on-one.
Hey Vijay, I have a question. This is Dinesh. So I'm presuming that for cloud it's going to be AWS, and let's say everybody has an account, and it's more like we are going through the AWS account and people practicing using those accounts, right?
Yes.
Vijay, can you answer?
So, yes. So, are you talking about the industry, how to operate, or how the trainings are going to be conducted?
I mean, you're focusing on the AWS side, right?
Correct. So you'll have to create your own account. We'll give you the details how to go. So we'll operate. So I will show the demo lab session, everything in my account. So you can have practice same thing in your account, so that you don't step over other activities.
And would you be able to help, or maybe keeping a direction in such a way that we can plan for some certification also? I know certification is a different thing altogether, because you need to have theoretical knowledge
so I can,
as well.
Yeah. So the way we are planning to have the setup, 3 areas. One is the conceptual knowledge and the hands-on lab exercise, so that you can succeed in the interview and also you can do your job. So be confident in that. Second thing, we'll also give inputs and the sample questions for attending and clearing the certification. Okay. So we say these are the topics to be covered. These are the sample questions. You need that direction also. But you have to stretch a bit to clear the certification, because working is different, getting certified is different. You know that, right? So you have to spend more time on reading and all. But we can definitely provide you hundreds of sample questions that are being asked in the past.
On the cloud side, maybe I will ask: is there certification is a must, or without certification it should be okay? Again, I'm just for the rest of the
certification is not mandatory.
Same thing on the big data side as well. It's not mandatory, right? But same thing on the big data side. There is Spark certification from different companies, cloud or automobiles. You don't need to be certified, but if you can get certified, it's great. But there is so much demand again, same area, right? If you are really good as a good Spark engineer with good Python skills and high, people will take you. I mean, they're not going to, if you are good, they're not going to ask you, are you certified or not? If you are really good, really good in the technology itself. So it is not mandatory, but if you have it, definitely it's a plus point. At least on the AWS setup, it does help, I believe, a lot. I mean, it does help.
One thing I say, there are a lot of people, without knowledge, they're doing certification. So,
the 100% candidates I'm taking interview are certified. I don't know how do they get certified, but they don't even know the basics. No joke. They don't know the basics. I don't know how they pass.
Yeah, that is a problem, because people the certification is more to do with some theory knowledge also, and dumps. People use a lot of dumps also, but they may be missing the basics. You're right, because of that reason.
So certification can help the resume to go in front of the HR. In the interview, they'll be knocked off. So we can definitely help you to get interviews. We can prepare. We ensure that you can work confidently. And of course, we have support system. We have a team sitting in India. They are also experts in this area. So we have a company back in India. Even they can also help. So there's a proper support system for the people who are really interested, who want to work, want to learn more. So we ensure that candidates are confident, they know the things, they're hands-on.
Okay. Hey, Debo, yeah, you can drop up, we can talk later. Hey, Kenneth, you had a question I see here. How are you going to be learning any tools in big data for visualization? How are you going to be learning any tool in big data for visualization? Are you talking about in visualization tools like Tableau, or BI, all those stuff, or visualization as in, or the tools in the big data that we'll be using? So not 100% clear, Kenneth, what was your question? But most of the big data is primarily at the back end. What you call learning, in the sense, it's a, so we'll be mostly dealing with databases, programming, coding, building different modules to do the data processing. So that's where we'll build your expertise, so that you are strong on the back end, right? Whether it's a data ingestion, bringing the data or processing it, or even to visualize, right? There are different tools within the big data that you can visualize, right? So, but if you join a company, right, and they will have different tools to, whether you are browsing the data or even to visualize, right? So you'll be working with different tools, which we may not have it in the training, but it's very easy to adopt when you join a company. For example, you have, Toad, or you have SQL Assistant in Teradata, right? In CBS, we are using SQL Assistant for doing all our queries on the big data, or we are even using Zeppelin for doing a lot of this analysis or visualization for big data. So those tools are will be there when you join any company. We'll have some basic overview of those tools. If you want to operate, you want to know how those tools are, they're pretty easy. But for you to be strong, you need to be strong on the back end. That's where we'll make you good. The front end side, it will be pretty easy for you to adopt any tool, whichever industry, whichever company you want to join. So that part is pretty easy for you, to tell you the truth. Okay. All right. We are 10 minutes past 9. So please reach out to me, and and in the next few days we are starting big data this weekend, and cloud platform engineering next weekend. I can talk to each of you in person or in over the phone in the next few days, and we can help you decide the course. I know most of you have talked to mostly on the big data side, but we'll advise you which way you want to go, and we'll get you enrolled. Okay. Again, as I said, we both are very committed to make you successful. That's our goal, and let us know. Okay. Any other questions? Again, there could be many unanswered questions. Please talk to me anytime in the next 3-4 days. I will be happy to explain anything you want to.
Okay. And this cloud platform training, Ratikant, like this is in person or
In
online?
person, yeah. Both are in person.
Both
Yeah.
days.
Both are.
The both days, like Saturday and Sunday,
Saturday
in
and
person,
Sundays.
both days?
Yes. Saturday and Sundays.
Okay.
Yes. That is here.
Sure.
And I'll send communications in the email in next couple of days, location and all that. And it's in Dallas anyway. And online folks can join online. We have done that in the last 3-4 years. Many people join online, and many of my online folks are also working now in big data job as well. So it shouldn't be any issue. Both the training formats we do support. So, but we'll do everything, whatever to let you learn these two programs. So, okay. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll stop here. But do call me. All of you have my phone numbers, and we'll talk in the next few days. And interested candidates will get you all enrolled. Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Rafi.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
joining session.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Rafi.
Yeah. Thank you.